Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the beginning of what I hope will be a long and exciting campaign. I'm David, your Dungeon Master, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to the stage that our band of adventurers will be using. Our story takes place in a faraway world called Eden, hidden from all in the depths of darkness. Situated perfectly around its star, Eden provides the races that call it home with the best chance to flourish. On the main continent, Candalas, major powers rule over various countries and cultures, but the situation is currently one of great upheaval. To the far east lies the desert empire of Hando. With many wonders and exotic exports, the traders of the Global Merchants Consortium generate much of the country's wealth. However, this leads to an immense centralization of riches, causing many to go without. Owing fealty to Hando, employing the Great Sands their home, are the various nomadic tribes, making their living amongst the harsh natures of the deserts and having little to no contact with most outside civilizations. The exception to this is when they make their yearly tribute to the Maharaja of the Burning Sands, leader of Hando. To the center of Candalas lies Vendaria, the home of the Aether Elves and the Skyrights of Umvadare, renowned for their skyship construction and research. The country is led by the Assembly of Paragons, but is currently experiencing unrest due to a foiled coup by a minor faction called the League of the Oppressed. Their leader, Razania Farzana, was captured during the tumult, causing many of the elven members of the group to surrender to avoid her execution. As a result, all of the elves involved in the uprising were thrown in jail, while members of the so-called lesser races were not as fortunate. To the south lies the contrasting countries of the Iron Alliance and Brixton, yet a growing relationship has blossomed between them of late. A new governing body has recently annexed the old nobles of Brixton. A group of holy zealots have placed their leader, Julius Hart, as the new ruler of the country. Having solidified their hold over the peasantry, they now move to enforce their particular brand of faith to their neighbours. The dwarves of the Iron Alliance, always ready and willing to make a profitable trade, have firmed their position as ally by supplying the newly formed army of Brixton with quality weapons and armour. Only time will tell if this was an ultimately foolish decision. Finally, we have the Kingdom of Dale, a centrally located and generally peace-loving nation where a man is judged more by his character than the stock of his heritage. Led by Queen Aaliyah, beloved be her name, the people are friendly and welcoming to newcomers. However, as of late, there has been an increase in unrest, creating unprecedented opportunities for adventurers to make a name for themselves, as the local guard are stretched to their limit, dealing with an increase in both general banditry as well as monster attacks. All the while, a darkness moves in the shadows, taking advantage of the chaos to further unknown evil machinations. People no longer venture out after dark or far away from their homes. Only the bravest of souls dares tend with the wilds that grow ever more sinister as time passes. In the midst of this growing turmoil, we find our newly formed band of adventurers, recently discharged, for a time at least, from their current employers. They are perfectly prepared to enjoy the festivities of the 50th anniversary of the defense of Alnerwick. Now to introduce our merry band of misfits, as well as the charming miscreants that will be playing them. Firstly, we have Hendo, who will be playing Lucile.
Well, what have we got here? Oh, a couple of miscreants breaking the law. Oh, you got your permit? Oh, you don't? Oh, fuck, that's real unfortunate for you. Oh, see, now we could do this the easy way, or the messy way. You could offer me a little something to make me forget that I ever saw you, or I could take your dickhead mate's dagger that he's trying to draw it all stealthily like and shove it up your asses before running you in. That's right. Put it away slowly, ever so slowly. Yeah, that's nice. Wise decision, boys. On me? Yeah. Constable Lucile Inglebrook. And don't you fucking forget it. Oh, will you look at the time? Seems I have an appointment over by the Eastern Gate. I'll catch you lads later. You peggly-eyed fucks.
Next, we have Haley, who will be playing Azula.
Good morning. My name is Azula. I'm an Aether Elf who grew up in the upper echelon of society. We had slaves, like many, but treated ours kindly. Others in our country did not. I joined a group of like-minded rebels. After a particular violent protest, I was banished from Pandaria. I found new direction in becoming a champion for Zan'Bae'Are, known for honor, justice, and defending the weak. I can be serious when it comes to protecting the vulnerable of society, but I also had a playful side, which I had to repress because of my upbringing.
Luke will be playing Kakra, which leads nicely into Veronica or V, who will be playing Kara.
I am the chosen one. But you want more. That's fair and completely understandable. I'm on an expedition to experience this world, and I shall lead our people to their rightful glories. Man, who wouldn't want to follow this gloriously green, glistening goblin Glutus? Oh, this is my baby sister. She also helps.
Baby, you're 2 minutes older than me.
First 2 minutes of my life.
I am Kara, sister to Kakran, the chosen one. Firstborn male to the Bird Sands tribe. I have the honor to be the secondborn. It is my job to protect him on his path to glory. I must be strong. I must be smart. And I must remember to pack the snacks. Otherwise he and Floxy gets very hungry. Oh, you haven't met Floxy? She is my familiar. My other half. A beautiful flying fennec fox that travels with me everywhere, hiding under my floppy wizard hat when she wishes to nap. Lucky bitch.
Now, without any further ado, let the chaos commence.
V is on my shoulders. We are looking for either a hat.
Yeah, but at this
Shop.
point, you don't have a trench coat, do you? You just basically
Yeah,
two
just
goblins,
two
one on
goblins,
your shoulders. Yeah, good.
So we're either looking for a dedicated hat store or someone with a very fancy hat to ask them where they got the hat from. I rolled
Excellent.
what did I roll? Total of 5 plus 2 for V's assist, wasn't it? So 7 total?
7 total.
High rolls.
Suboptimal at the best of times. So, with a 7 trying to find a hat, it's not that you don't find a hat, it's that you find all of the hats. And that is the problem.
I'm up on his shoulder going, there's a hat, there's a hat.
Basically.
There's a hat.
Yeah. You're basically pointing out every single hat that there is, including hats that are on people, because you don't see them as not a possibility. So, yeah, you are spoiled for choice.
Should have been up first.
I tried to have a look, and I didn't look too well either.
Hat.
No,
Hat.
no, you didn't.
Hat.
Yep.
That one has a flower on it.
So you find many, many hats. None of them really, though, seem to fit what you're looking for. Follow the one with the flower on it?
Yep.
So that is currently being in a stall that appears to be owned by a halfling.
Did we end up doing language choices?
I think it's just Goblin and Common that I speak anyhow. You know what? I actually have no idea how to check that either.
You find it. It is on the front page, underneath your speed and encumbrance. Speed types, sensors, languages, and threats.
Goblin, I was right. I have dark vision.
You do. You are, in fact, a goblin.
Are you supposed to get more based off your intelligence modifier?
Well, I mean, we are talking about the monk here. He's not the most intelligent of individuals. You, on the other hand...
Yeah, I was thinking at mine, I've only got common and goblin there.
Yeah, because there haven't been any extra chosen.
Well, obviously I'm taking the small token dwarven.
So you're taking
language?
halfling... there should be... Yeah, so there'd be dwarven, gnomish, halfling.
Yep, so I've got those 3. And I get 1 more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It seems like an interesting choice, but no worries.
I mean, it's either that or Wolfish.
Ravens!
I mean, you must know the language of the oppressors to be able to fight against the oppressor.
Hey Dave, could you move your mic a little bit closer? You're a little bit too quiet.
Okay. How's that? Better?
Better.
Better. I was listening to the recording and it sounded like I was basically had the microphone in my mouth.
Yeah.
So how's that? Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it's good for me.
Wait, so we can have more languages? What's going on?
So we'll do like the old school rules where it's for every point of intelligence bonus you have, you get an extra language. So you have one extra language you can choose.
Can I choose Asmia because of what happened?
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay. That one. So it wouldn't be Aether, it'd be Celestial, but it's basically the same thing. Yep. Lucile doesn't get any because she's not smart enough. Didn't worry about spending time to fucking learn another language.
I know all the languages I need. Goblin and other.
Okay.
Common is horrendously accented.
Yep. So, the goblins unable to find another hat that they are looking for, unfortunately at this stage, just leaves them with the ability to... You find all the hats in the universe and none of them are what you're looking for. You do, however, have this flowery hat that appears to be in the stall owned by a halfling. What are you doing?
In the store.
It's in the stall. The stall is manned by the halfling.
Oh, hello. I would greet them in halfling. It's like,
Oh, somebody that speaks the language. Oh, it's wonderful to see you, dear. How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. It is a great tradition to learn the language of other small folk.
Oh, well, it's lovely to hear you take like to the language like a fish to water.
Wonderful, wonderful. You don't get a lot of water in the eastern deserts, but it's good when you do. Are you from the cottage folk or from the mushroom folk?
I'm from the cottage folk, dear.
Oh, lovely. I hear you have interesting herbs and stuff. Is not what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for a hat, but like a wizard's hat.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if I can really help you with a wizard's hat. I do have a couple of hats here, but none of them are specifically for a wizard. They're just hats.
They're very nice, but I want something that screams wizard. Power.
That one has a pig on it. I got no idea what gibberish they're speaking.
No. You just hear them going back and forth, and then you just sort of point out, oh, that one has a pig.
That's because I'm more intelligent.
She has a look around through her stocks. Seems to... You know what they're... Yeah. She pulls out one, and it basically just looks like your standard wizard's hat, but it's not patchy. It's got a little bit of finely crafted trim around the edge of it. It's just a basic hat, but it's not patched, and it's well made. He sort of puts it down in front of you. That's about the best I could do, unfortunately.
Does he have any phoenix feathers? Shouting down.
Phoenix feathers?
For the hat.
Unfortunately, no, I don't have that kind of item in my possession. I don't even know who you'd talk to about getting something like that.
Do you know any phoenixes by chance? I guess that'd be a good place to start.
No. Unfortunately, dear, I don't know any phoenixes. It's they're not exactly something that you just find lying around in the wilds.
Not normally.
No.
Okay. I really like the head. It is nice, but I'm kind of looking for something a little bit more, how you say, garish.
Unique is probably the word I would say.
Yes.
Okay.
Like with baubles or maybe like a bell or like little mushrooms on it that says, I'm a funky wizard.
Interesting.
If I don't find something, I will come back.
Okay. Well, if you have the time, I could always make something custom. Of course, there would be a price involved, but it would only take me a couple of days.
Switches to goblin. Chiseling on my own head. Special made head.
I mean, that's good, right?
This is good. Can we stay here today?
I am going to allow it.
This is very good. Thank you,
Let's
Chelsea.
do that.
Excellent. How much can I spend?
How much does he need?
I don't know. Is it a he or a she?
She.
She. Okay, good. I will ask. Smile nicely. Maybe you're her type.
Yeah, so you've almost got this rictus grin on your face as you stare at the halfling, who takes a little bit of a shocked half step back as she looks at you. And sort of, is everything all right with that one, dear?
Oh! I just got licked by a cat, sorry. Scared
Nice,
the fuck out of me.
good.
He is very excited about the possibility of me owning a hat. Magnificent. How much would such a hat cost?
Well, that depends entirely on how fancy you want me to make it, love.
I would like to get Floxy to help puppy dog eyes a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, just sort of like hold Floxy in my arms, just kind of do like a sweet little
You need a
smile.
nice place to sleep in.
Yeah, it's like it needs to be comfortable enough because Floxy likes to sleep under my head. So if you can have like a little space for this little cutums in there, look at the little face, and you can maybe give me good price because I don't have a lot of gold.
So roll your persuasion. Your diplomacy, sorry. Getting your bonus from the fox.
Cuteness of pets. Oh, you want to glory, kitty.
Excellent. I can't roll above a 10 tonight. That's 14 including
It's a worth 14. 15.
I rolled a 13.
Yeah, then it's plus 2 for Floxy, isn't it?
Plus 1.
Oh, plus. Righto.
Yeah.
So.
But I also don't know how much things changed with the new system.
Yeah, that's fine. So. She seems to, like, look at you a little bit, and her face creases into a snide smile as she looks at you. Oh, she's adorable, isn't she? Oh, well, I guess I could make you I'll make you a fine hat. It won't be too fancy, but it'll definitely tell you that you are a wizard and smarter than your companion?
This is my brother.
Your brother. Okay. Yes, well, I'll make sure it definitely portrays that you are of a higher caliber of individual than your brother. Very well.
and
Hmm?
can keep one for you as a special gift.
Very well. That seems delightful. What about if we say 1 gold for the hat? And I'll make sure that there is some nice flourish onto it.
Wonderful. What if I give you 2 gold for the hat and you add some of the beautiful embroidery that I know you guys do?
Done.
Huzzah.
So,
Thank you.
you give her the gold?
Yeah.
I say we have.
Do we give her all of the gold or one and one on delivery?
That's entirely up to you. What are you doing?
Oscar, do you want half now, half when done, or all when done?
I'd like at least half of it now. Yes.
Okay, alright. I will give, or do you just need all now?
I mean, if you want to give it to me all now, that would be nice.
You seem nice. Okay.
Very good. All right. Well, we say tomorrow afternoon. I should have it ready by then.
This sounds very grateful. Thank you very much.
No worries. You have a good day.
I'm not drinking fire whiskey today, so it will be better than yesterday.
With that, noticing that there's a couple other people waiting behind you, she just sort of, nods and then goes about serving the other customers that are coming up to see her.
Oh, we done? Okay, good. Good.
Yeah. You've just been listening to these two gibber on in some foreign language, and you're like, what is this? By about this time, it's probably getting on towards midday, and it's probably getting to the point, Hendo, where your character is sort of, it's not that you don't want to continue sleeping, it's that it's getting to the point where it's just not happening anymore.
Yeah, I can smell pancakes sort of cooking somewhere else in the house.
Yeah. So what are you doing at this point?
So, awoken by the interesting smell of pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's my name? Lucile lives with her mum, who may or may not have been moderately injured during the original siege of Alnerwick.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she lives with me, or I live with her. It's really too hard.
One way or the other. It's essentially
one way or the other.
Yeah.
So she lives here, and I live to basically support her.
Yeah. And it probably changes from day to day as to who's, pulling more money into the household as to who lives with who.
It's me. It's like, who brings in all the money.
All right. But yeah.
Oh, God, what is that smell? Oh, no, Mum's put baking powder in the bloody pancakes again.
Yeah, so you come out to see your mother is... She's basically baking cakes on a frying pan is essentially what she's doing. They are the world's largest pancakes.
That's perfectly acceptable, because in gnomish culture, everything is sized for a medium-sized creature and not a small one. That includes the food, the furniture, the house, but not the cutlery. It's always small.
Well, yeah, because they're small, but they just think big.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Say, morning, Mum. What are you doing?
Well, can't you see I'm baking?
I can't really. It's too bright in here. Also, it's full of smoke.
That's not smoke, that's flavour.
Yeah, all right. That's a fairly good point.
She says as she pulls like a pipe out of her mouth and just blows smoke into the middle of it.
I mean, I nod and shrug, climb up onto the nearest chair, pull out the world's worst cigarette from behind her ear, put it in her mouth. Actually,
Has it been there for like 3 days at this point?
it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
It's just one of those ones where when it burns down far enough, you just wrap another paper around and add more tobacco or whatever into the end of it.
Yeah, good.
Like, lean forward, light it on one of the candles on the table.
Yeah.
Like, lean back.
Yeah.
That's better.
As you take your first drag, she comes over with a plate that is basically just It's the remains of a pancake that she has cooked, and she's had to obviously cut off bits that have burnt because they were left in the pan too long, or it was like it cooked on the outside, but the middle was still like gooey. So she's like cut the burnt bits off and put it back in to cook it longer until the point where it's like you've got an amount that is edible. Yeah.
Thanks, Mum. This looks like a meal I will definitely remember.
It tastes better than it looks.
I can't see too well at the moment, but I'll take your word for it.
Don't worry, doll. That's,
Grab
you
the
see,
world's smallest fork.
yeah, it's like we're talking about what is essentially the size of a normal human's like plate that is entirely covered in bits of pancake, and you pull out what is essentially like an entree fork. Like it's the little shrimp fork.
Yeah.
And like a teaspoon, and that's what you've got to eat this thing.
Reach under the table, pull out a jug that's, all half the size of me. It's like pour it over the top of it. It's some sort of syrup. It makes
At one point, it might have been honey. You're not sure what it is anymore.
We don't really know what it started out as. It's one of those ones like the cigarette where you just keep refilling it with.
You don't know, and at this point, there's no point in asking.
Yeah, you don't question anything that crunches.
Yeah. It's just extra protein.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I spend the next 5 minutes just kind of stuffing this into my face and drinking the syrup out of the plate.
Yep. It's not bad. It's not good by any means, but it's not bad.
But it's what I'm used to.
It is what you're used to, yeah. And it's cheap. And that's the important thing.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
I sit there mostly in silence. Mum doesn't talk to me. I don't really talk to her.
No.
It's just, I'm eating my, I guess, technically breakfast.
Yeah.
And then
it's breakfast for you.
It's breakfast for me. It's
Yep.
breakfast for everyone, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been cooking since everyone else's breakfast.
It probably has.
It has been cooking since everybody else's breakfast, yes.
With the thickness of it and the amount of char that's in it, it's probably been cooking for about 4 hours. Off and on.
That is one thing you must always say about your mother's cooking. At least it keeps you regular.
And it's consistent.
Yes. All right, but what are you up to now that the day is yours?
Well, after stuffing myself and smoking at least 3 or 4 other cigarettes, what was I supposed to be doing today? Then I hear the raucous laughter, etc., from the people walking past, and I think, oh, right. Got to go to work.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You need anything today, Mum?
Yeah.
You going out?
Probably.
Righto. I'll see you sometime. I don't know. Later.
No worries. Door will be open like always.
All right. Say, climb off my stool.
Mm-hmm.
Go back into wherever my bed is. Chuck on all my equipment and scuttle out of the house.
Yep.
Looking a combination of shifty and as though everyone else around me is also of a suspicious nature.
Yeah. You are shifty, but you're surrounded by shifty. And that is why you are shifty.
I know how to spot it. We can smell our own.
That's it. And with that, you start heading into town.
It's like bleeding tourists, honestly. I could stab every single one of them if they weren't wearing armor or if I had a knife or anything like that.
You
what
do.
Are you looking at?
You're just muttering to yourself as you're heading into town. You do get the odd stare here and there from some of the passers-by who are just a little unsure about you as you walk past, but no, just sort of
see you wearing a town guard uniform and say, is that so? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, basically.
Rock up to whatever passes for headquarters for the town guard.
It'd be the guard barracks near one of the. It was near one of the main gates. Probably still is.
Probably.
I don't remember what the city looked like from the map, so I would just say whichever one it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's the eastern gate.
I was way off.
Yeah.
It's all good. I know where things are in the town that I live in.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
So give a vague nod, salute, so a grunted greeting to any of the guards who might be out there on guard duty.
They are very busy at the moment. People coming and going. Various individuals standing around. Obviously, there's been a bit of hubbub this morning with, just with this many sheer quantity of people. Obviously, there's been a couple of pickpockets making the rounds, and people have lost their coin purses and whatnot. So there's already a bit of a queue at the guard station.
I just walk right past them. I was like, oh dear, yeah, that's real unfortunate. Yeah, so sorry to hear. Yeah, that guy will help you.
Yeah. But with that, you walk in.
Like, presumably look for someone who's next up in the chain of command to find out what my orders are for the day.
Yeah, so you'd probably be needing to talk to the sergeant, who's around at the moment.
He's around somewhere, probably.
Probably very busy at the moment, but he'd definitely be around for you to be able to have a chat to him.
I mean, I won't be too upset if I have to kind of stand there leaning against a wall, smoking a cigarette, and
Yeah.
just waiting until he's available.
Yeah, so you just basically stand around looking like you're important and whatnot.
Like I'm important, but also like I'm about to rob the place.
Yeah, basically. You are a shady motherfucker, but you are still a member of the guard. All right, so... And the individual that you're waiting for is Sergeant. And I cannot for the life of me remember his name.
Sergeant Excellent, gotcha.
No.
Sergeant Excellent is a wonderful name.
No, I had a name for him. I don't know what happened.
He's also the worst sergeant that's on staff. It's something coming from my character.
Yeah.
Actually, while you're doing the looking up names,
Yeah.
I probably should at least pass on some information about what my character looks like.
Yeah, sure, do that.
Yeah.
Lucile Inglebrook, she is a gnome of slightly larger stature than is typical for one, a gnome, and two, a female gnome, standing at a grand total of 3'3", weighing in at a whopping 16 kilograms. She is of the chameleon gnome ancestry, so as is needed, she can modify her coloration of hair, skin, eyes, etc. over an amount of time. But generally speaking, if she's not bothering to do that, she is somewhat tanned in complexion, has dark brown hair and dark eyes. And she looks a little bit weathered, like she's spent a little bit too much time out in the sun and probably didn't have the best of times growing up. Which
Too
is
much
an accurate statement.
Okay.
It currently smells like cigarettes and very burnt pancakes.
And some kind of sickly sweet smell as well, but nobody can quite pick it. They don't think it's honey, it's not golden syrup, but there's something.
Something that may have come from a plant or a tree or a bee. We're not sure.
Exactly. So you're waiting for Sergeant Lane. He is...
Lang or Lane?
Lane, Lane.
Gotcha.
He is the current sergeant on duty.
All right. Does he have an office or anything, or am I just kind of walking into an open area and hoping that he doesn't necessarily see me straight away?
He does have an office that is currently being, various people in and out of said office. You sort of go and make yourself... You don't stand behind a pillar, but you stand close enough that, if nobody's looking for you, they probably won't notice.
And so maybe change my skin tone a little bit. So
Yeah.
Kind of a grey ashen tone.
Yeah, something along those lines. You just sort of post yourself up against the wall and just stand there. And you watch as Lane goes in and out of the office a couple of times. You seem to be getting a bit more agitated with every time he goes in and goes out. Eventually he comes out with what appears to be a rather large human male in his sort of, mid to late 40s. That very red face of somebody that drinks considerably every day.
Maybe.
Yeah, something along those lines. But he's quite a large fellow, obviously a man of significant means, and he has used those means to enjoy the finer things in life. He comes out, I must say it is quite unheard of for this sort of poppycock fucking bullshit. He just seems rather flustered as Lane walks out, and he's like, yes, sir, I understand. We'll look into it and see if we can get your money back as soon as possible. And as he's like, seeing this person out, making it's not pleasantries, but it's essentially the guard version of pleasantries. He looks over and locks eyes with you for a second, and
he notices the smell of the cloying cigarettes.
Yeah, that's slowly been emanating from your corner of the area. He just sort of locks eyes with you, and then as he turns around, he just points to his office.
Just give him a nod and just kind of slowly amble towards wherever it is that his office actually is, and go and lean up against a wall.
Yeah.
And look shifty or like I'm casing the place.
Yeah.
Not on purpose, that's just how I look.
Yeah, no, that's it. So as Lane walks in, after having a quick hurried word to another member of the guard that's inside the main sort of like area in the bottom area of the barracks, walks in, closes the door. All right, I need you to go and have a talk to all your boys that you fucking know. Tell them to lean off the fucking important people. I don't care if they pickpocket the, the middle and the lower class, but the nobles, hands off.
You got a list?
If they've got more than 3 rings on one hand, consider them out of bounds.
I mean, I can certainly do that, Captain. Sergeant. Shit, sorry. Force habit.
The only reason we haven't busted you and thrown you in the brig is because you have these contacts.
I have no idea what you mean.
Of course you don't. Now go talk to those people that you have no idea who I am referring to and make sure they get their greasy little mitts off all the important people in town.
I will definitely make sure something like that happens if it is here within my power and ability to do so.
Now get out.
Righto. And I just amble out, give him a look out of this corner of my eyes, disappear around the corner.
Yeah.
And say, well, I know what I'm doing for the day. Just sending a message to some people and go say, right, there we go. I'm free for the rest of the day. Unless someone else sees me, in which case I'm screwed.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah.
All right. So where are you heading to from this point?
Oh, let's see. Hang on. This city doesn't have a dock. It's landlocked, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Main.
There is no convenient dock to go to.
Unfortunately.
No.
Let's see. Main artery into the city is the Eastern Gate.
Eastern and Southern gates. There's a
Gate. Okay. Well, we're near the Eastern Gate now.
Yeah.
So probably head down that way first. Look for some of my friends.
Yeah.
Pass on the word about, if you see someone who has 3 or more rings on one hand, leave them alone. Harass other people instead.
Yeah. You know who he's referring to. They're the people, the nobles that have come to town, basically to take part in the jousting tournament.
Wait until after all that's done.
Well, they're the ones that if they accidentally pickpocket the wrong person, they're going to get their head cut off. Yeah, and it's just going to be a mess. That's all they're caring about, is that basically anyone that's of a noble or higher rank just mitts off, basically, at this point.
Wander down, find the youngest people available and say, hey, unless you want to keep your hands. Wait, no, wrong way around.
If you want to keep your hands.
If you want to keep your hands, maybe don't do that.
Yeah. All right.
And then point them out some other more suitable marks.
Yeah. So you would know that there's a couple of places you could go in the market where you'd be able to touch base with some of these people, but there is also a couple of warehouses you could go to where, the more professional criminals have set up in town.
The ones that I may or may not be somewhat affiliated with.
Possibly. It all depends on how you look at these kinds of things.
I mean, I'm a member of the town guard. I'm definitely not a criminal, probably.
No, probably not. Maybe. Who knows?
It's a contentious topic.
It's complicated. We don't need to worry about it. However, if you did speak to them, they'd be able to get the word out to basically everyone of a criminal inclination in town within, say, an hour, rather than you going around for quite a few hours trying to catch up with everyone yourself.
Oh, but if I talk to them first, it means there's a good chance that someone will see me and goes like, "Hey, are you busy?" It's like, "Oh, I've definitely done the thing that I was supposed to do, but I guess technically I could help you."
Indeed.
I won't, but I could.
So I guess it comes down to, are you going to waste some time, or are you going to get things done quickly and then run the gauntlet of having to do more stuff?
It's like, let's see. Oh, well.
The reward for a job well done is more work.
Essentially.
Pretty much. Well, I will do the sensible thing. I will spend an hour wandering around the eastern part of the city. It's like talking to the smaller time people, the ones who I know will probably not necessarily listen to anyone who's actually in a position of authority.
Yeah.
And start going, it's like, no, none of that. Whack.
Yeah.
And then probably find my way to one of the syndicates and then goes like, yeah, just heads up, these people, stay away from them. You might want to lose your head. No, if you don't, you might lose your head.
Yeah. All right, so roll me a
is also not very bright, by the way, hence why she's always stuffing up her words.
Roll me a perception test.
Not quite. A little take.
Now I got to get my character sheet open.
Ah, good.
Perception. Ooh, a massive 10.
Ooh.
And that's the highest roll tonight.
I mean, I rolled a 2 on the die, so didn't do too bad when all considered.
Yep.
Oh, we've lost to Veronica.
Yeah. All right. So with that, you are able to pick up some of the less practiced individuals, I will call them. The young street urchins that have only just started trying their hand at, making their way a little bit easier in the world, or for example, the older individuals that just straight up aren't that bright.
So the ones that I see making the exact same stupid mistakes that I made back when I was younger.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and you catch up with a couple of them, give them the warning.
Give one of them a copper piece to send a runner to the nearest syndicate to let them know that I'm on my way.
Yeah.
For official business reasons.
Yeah.
Their official business club.
Yes, official business reasons. Business numbers.
Yeah. And amble around the place, kind of get an eye on whatever the hell might be going on around. That's probably not necessarily criminal, but at least make the look that I'm looking for people doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, so there isn't much that really grabs your attention because it's all stuff you would have seen before. So the usual market with just full of people that have put up the prices by way too far simply because it's that time of year.
It's the same.
Yeah, there'd be a couple of a couple of the locals have set up some games of, well, they call it games of skill, but at this point it's basically, if they allow you to win, you win. If they don't, well, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They're carnies, basically.
Yeah. No, it's very much, it's a carnival mixed with a Sunday market, essentially. It's got that feel to it. But yeah, you spend an hour just going around making sure everyone's keeping their nose where it should be and not sticking their hands into pockets they shouldn't be.
Losing them there.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but after a little while, you sort of get the feeling that it's probably, if you stay around too much longer and you just look like you're loitering, somebody is probably going to give you a job. And, well, you're not necessarily about that kind of business.
No, it's like work is something that other people do.
Exactly. So, Where you're heading off to now?
Probably towards one of the syndicates to
Yeah.
have the official word, and then make my way south or
Yeah.
to the south gate to potentially talk to other people who may not have got the word out necessarily just yet.
Yeah.
Or to, at the very least, make sure that they've heard the word.
Yeah. So in town currently is what you would call professional criminal organization.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the Turner Gang. And it's basically, there's about 40 people in there at the moment. It's led by a man by the name of Elliot Turner.
That sounds right.
Yep. And he is essentially, he probably grew up here the same as you did, but whereas you joined the guard and do the bare minimum to get by, he just went full criminal and is at the point now where he's on pretty good standing with most people. It's even rumored that the governor of town is not necessarily in debt, but might owe Elliot a couple of favors and
Okay.
puts him in pretty good standing. And like you, there's a certain level of professionalism that comes about them. Like, whilst sure they might, rob from people and all that kind of stuff, they only tend to rob from people that have the means to be able to pay for it. So like, caravan merchants, noble people, so on and so forth. They don't go around just robbing everyone blind sort of thing. It's kind of seen as beneath them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they were operating out of that warehouse you were mentioning before.
Yeah, they operate out of a warehouse, which is essentially a front, but it does do some legitimate business.
It also
a bare minimum.
Wares, maybe.
Yes, exactly. It does do a bare minimum, but it does do some legitimate business of, ferrying goods from Alnerwick to the capital.
Seems legit.
Yeah, totes.
But that's the name of their warehouse.
It is in fact not the name of their warehouse. It doesn't have a name. It's just everyone knows it as the Turner Warehouse, and unless you have business with Elliot Turner, you don't go there.
So, well, I guess I kind of technically have business with Elliot Turner. So.
You do in fact have business with Elliot Turner this day, so I'm assuming you're heading to the warehouse.
At a not particularly fast pace, yes.
Yeah, just sort of meandering your way there.
Yeah.
All right. So at this point, what is Haley doing?
Well, I've noticed that quite a few more people are coming around, and
Very
some of
much
them are Aether Elves themselves. So I put up my hood that's under my chainmail, my beautiful blue Dominable Order hood, just to hide my face a little bit, not look too inconspicuous.
Yeah.
And after an hour or so of just wandering around the market, looking at shiny things I can't afford, I go back to the tavern and see if Thomas and Matt are awake yet from last night. Yes.
Yeah. They have awoken. They're currently sitting
still or in the tavern.
No, they're down in the tavern. They're currently sitting in a booth, with looking much worse for wear than you are.
How many socks are they wearing?
What's that?
None of that.
How many socks are they wearing?
One of them is short, one sock, yes. Fine, don't worry about it.
Boys, see you're up and about.
Yeah, boss. Just having something to eat.
After last night?
No. I'm not drinking ever again.
Yeah. We all say that at some time.
No, I mean it. I'm making a vow of never drinking alcohol ever again. That stuff is the devil. Ugh.
And I will support you on that, Matt. Yes. Would you guys be up and about for looking around at the market, or do you guys want to just take some time? There's some fun games.
Yeah, we can go to the market. Don't see why not.
Don't have might have sent a bit more than I should have last night. on our drinks. So just be playing some games, not. But there are some pretty armor and swords and things if you want to look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw a really fun game of toss, where you toss the ring, toss the rope onto a jar. Yes, we could test ourselves on that feat of skill.
Yeah, if you want, boss.
Right.
They're both groggily, a bit shakily get to their feet, eventually heading out to follow you out into the general hubbub of what's going on outside. Anyway. So.
That's what I spent some time doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're going around, you would also hear that there is a couple of tournaments going on. One of them is the jousting tournament, which is the big draw for the entire festival.
Is that only for nobles, though?
Yeah, only for nobles, and you already have to have been signed up basically before you got here. Yeah, with papers to prove that you're noble and all that kind of shenanigans.
I don't joust anyway. I don't even have one.
Along with that, though, is the melee, which is just for anyone really that wants to get involved. There's also an archery tournament. And the Battle of the Bards.
Ooh, I don't have skill for that. How much to sign up for the melee tournament?
Signing fee is 1 silver.
All right, boys, what do you think? Should we have a go?
I mean, if you want, boss. I don't know how good I'm going to be with my sword today, but you can give it a shot.
It's great fun. All right.
So, what are you doing from here?
I'm signing up.
You're signing up?
Yep.
Yeah. So you head over to the signing stand, which is basically just essentially a table that they've put near the actual melee field. And yeah, there's a man standing behind it who's, got quill, ink, book, whatnot.
Excellent.
Me
and my friends here would like to sign up for the melee. Or unless, Thomas, you're quite good at archery. Do you want to do some archery instead?
I can do that.
Okay.
No worries.
Oh, as well? Yes, your twist.
Nah, I'm only feeling one today. I'll do the archery. You guys do the melee.
Yes.
Yep. You hand him 3 silver, and he, indicates 1 page is for the melee, 1 page is for the archery tournament.
And when will that be happening?
Melee starting just after lunch. The archery tournament will be towards the afternoon, sort of about 3 o'clock start.
Excellent.
So you got about probably an hour and a half before the melee starts.
We could get some early lunch. Oh no, actually, you know what? We should probably have that after. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Matt's also standing there. He's like, yeah, I just ate, so I'm good. Ugh.
Yeah. Let's walk around, or maybe find a nice place to sit and just watch the entertainment.
Do you know if the priest is in town at the moment? Could really use some of his the magics.
We can just go back to the church for a bit.
Yeah, actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah, we'll see if any of our other mates are wanting to join the tournament as well.
Yep. Yeah. All right. And with that, you guys head off towards the church.
Yep.
Whilst all this is happening, what are the goblins up to?
For height's sake, we are stacked up once more with all these long-uns around.
Yeah.
Don't want to get stepped on. Chatting away in Goblin as we do.
Would you like to be the top still?
We'll change places. Rotation.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. That nice elf lady last night. We should get her something as well. She got us a very good drink. We should get her something just as good.
This sounds very good, but I don't really want to be drinking the whiskey again.
What's good for morning afters? Nice tea.
Cup of tea?
Yeah. Elves like tea.
I hear that halflings make a very good gift. They make a very good specialty. That could make good gift, like peacemaking.
We shall look for a halfling or a tea shop, whichever we spot first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it depends if we're going normal tea or if we try to find some darkling tea.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds magnificent.
It is. Well, I've never had it, but I hear it is. Maybe we could go hunting.
Yes.
Yes, we will get a simple cloak on the way.
Yes.
And then look for tea.
Alright, so cloak and halfling tea. In that order?
Yes.
All right.
You want us to both roll?
Don't worry about rolling for a cloak. That's something that you guys would be able to find. It wouldn't be too hard. It costs you about 5 copper.
I got that.
Yep. But yeah, you are able to find a convenient trench coat. That makes you look somewhat less conspicuous. The proportions are still wrong.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
My person, I've realized now, has a habit of spending money because they used to be rich.
Aha.
So he wanted
Well, of course you do.
They still suspend it.
Yeah,
There we go.
all of your accounts are on held.
Withheld. Alright. The 5 copy you said for the trench coat.
Yep, 5 copper.
Cool, got it. Now we need a halfling that makes tea.
A halfling that makes tea.
Is that like a halfling tea shop, perhaps?
There wouldn't be a
Listen to the
half.
accent.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a halfling tea shop, but there are plenty of halfling merchants in town at the moment.
Alright,
Brother, can you see any that sell herbs or mushrooms?
I can see.
Roll perception.
I can. Well, where's that? Hang on. 11. Good.
It wouldn't be too hard to find a halfling that's in the that is selling some, herbs and various bits and pieces of both an alchemical and non-alchemical nature.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there could be mushrooms there. That's a good idea.
Yes.
We'll
Yep.
saunter on over.
So you walk up and... Oh, no, you wouldn't notice. So, yep, all good.
Do you want to do the talking again with your gibberishness?
Well, aren't you normally on the bottom because you can move easier?
Yeah, I am on the bottom. That's why I was looking up when I was talking.
We switched off to the cloak, so
Okay.
we dropped to the cloak and then we switched again just so we don't get too tired. Okay, remember, smile, but not too big smile. Very good. Perfect.
Yes. The person's waist is smiling at people.
Have I introduced you to Father Noble?
Just this disturbing cloak that just opens around the waist area, and there's just these two little yellow eyes and a smile, and that's all you can see.
Oh no, don't worry about that. That is just my crotch goblin.
In point of fact,
Oh,
yes.
it's accurate, and that's what makes it funny. Nice.
I have some wrappings on my arms.
Yeah.
Upper arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
1 or 2 here or there. All right. So yeah, you walk up to this halfling who's very busy at the moment, conversing with a couple of other customers.
I hold Foxy in my arms and look cute and wait.
Okay. Yeah, so it takes them about 5 minutes to finally get around to you guys, but eventually they do come over. Yes, what you need?
Hello, they say in halfling.
Yep.
Are you a Scottish halfling or a darkling halfling?
Darkling? What difference does that make?
Well, we're looking for some of the darkling tea. I've been told it's very good. We all give to friend, and we think that would be a very nice, peaceful beverage.
Alright. Roll a persuasion test, diplomacy test, sorry.
With the cute one. No, not the cute one. I'm sorry, Luke, in this situation.
No one asked you. You don't have to keep going.
Oh, that's going to be good.
That's that one.
Look at that one!
Yep. Yep. They just look at you and they're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Is there anything else I can actually help you with?
Okay, go find another halfling. Thank you.
They just shake their head and move on to the next customer.
It turns out they're the only tea merchant in the entire region.
You didn't know what I was talking about. We need to find a different halfling.
Okay. To the left.
Lucky, can you and see if you can find another halfling that is selling herbs?
Yep. They come out from under your hat, quickly take flight and jump up a little bit. You see a couple of children that are near you when it happens sort of point up in them. Oh, look at the birdie.
Entertainment.
What are you staring at, kid?
They start crying as they run off looking for their mother. Pulls the coat close. Oh god. Yeah, Floxy is. Let's have a look. Yep. Is able to find you another merchant, not quite as busy, but seems to have some more, like where this one's obviously has like a lot of dried components in vials and stuff like that. This merchant seems to have more raw resources, like they haven't been processed as much. Like there's like bits of fungus hanging off of like the stall and all that kind of stuff. So you get guided over in that direction.
Just one eye peeking out of one of the trench coats.
No, the left. The other left.
But yeah, you eventually find your way to the stall in question.
Hello.
Yes, hello. How can I help you?
Are you okay?
Yes, just I'm not used to the light.
Oh, are you from the dark places?
Very much so. Yes, how can I help
Do you want me to find you like a hat? I'm getting a new hat tomorrow. Would that help you?
you? No, it's quite alright. It's just something that I'll eventually get used to.
Okay, well, if you need it, I mean, it would shade your face holes. I am looking for some tea.
What sort of tea?
I hear that darklings make a special delicious tea.
Roll me another diplomacy test.
Natural one, natural one, natural one.
Oh,
natural
it's
one.
coming like a fucking train. No?
So close.
Yeah. They look you up and down. Yeah, they look you up and down. Yeah. You know that's potent. Yes?
Well, our friend bought us some fire whiskey last night, which we had, and then that was a little bit too spicy, so we want to repay the favor, and we thought we would get something else that is potent but fun.
Right. And you've decided that this is what you would like.
I heard that it is very calming and it makes you feel happy. A peace offering, as it will.
That is one way of looking at it. Alright, well, woe am I to stop somebody from trying something they want to try? And with that, they turn around and start looking through various, bits and pieces and all that kind of stuff. Eventually, they come back with, this one is actually in a vial, and it's a little sort of triangular vial that's full of what looks like ground up purple wood chips. They put it down on the table and slide it across your ears. That is what you're looking for.
Okay, how much do you use?
It depends on the person and what their resistances normally are. I wouldn't go much more than a spoonful in a cup of tea.
Okay, so if we do like a half a spoon for a small folk, or do you mean a spoon for small folk?
Well, I mean, I myself normally take a full spoonful. But obviously, you might not have the same resistances that I have, so probably best to go with half a spoonful.
Okay, I will do that. How much for the purple tea?
1 gold.
Okay, alright, I have 1 gold. Are you sure you don't want me to get you something for your eyes? Like some glasses or like a little veil?
No, it's fine.
Okay, do you want some water? You sound very parched.
No, I'm quite alright. This is what I sound like all the time.
Oh, okay. That is understandable. Everybody sounds a little different.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you very much. Here is your gold. And thank you for the tea.
No worries. You have a wonderful day today, dearie. Bye.
And Forky will sort of like try and get a little pat before we go.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll scratch behind the ears. Oh, I'm cute, love me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get a little bit of a scratch. Not too much, but there will be some scratch.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Okay, brother, we have the tea.
About face. Look.
Okay.
The bottom half turns around, but the top half stays where it
Yeah,
is.
basically.
Starts walking off back.
Just
Waiting for
Jesus.
I'm kind of a little bit worried about pickpockets. Do you want me to hide things in my head or in your loincloth?
How much stuff you got? I do
have
have a backpack now.
You have a backpack?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, how can they pick us inside the cloak if it's in the backpack on our backs under the cloak? It should be fine.
I mean, that's certainly one way of looking at it.
But
Yeah.
unless you want to just put the coins somewhere safe.
I can be super careful and wear the backpack on my front. That's a thing people do. I've seen it.
That is, in fact, how that works sometimes.
This is very true. Cool.
We should go somewhere else.
Okay, well, I don't really want to be drinking the tea now, because from what he said, it's quite potent tea, so I don't know if it might just make us feel kind of sleepy, so we should wait until, like, a nighttime or another time, but we should
We need to
tell
find elf lady.
Yes, let's find the elf lady. Floki, you remember the elf lady?
They seem to remember who you're referring to.
Can you find them? Or, like, can you see them? If you go up?
They jump off again and go immediately back up into the air.
Nice of me, bro.
Question marks.
They would probably see the elf walking out of the out of the market and heading off towards what appears to be one of the large the church.
It looks like she's going to a church. Shall we go have a look at it?
I guess.
Okay. Let's just hide the tea.
Oh, yeah. Take it down, stuff it in my front pack. Actually, you know what? We have a knife on us, don't we? One of us? Surely.
I'm sure one of you has a knife on you.
The pockets of the trench coat. I want to cut the pockets off so we can use the pockets as little peepholes.
No worries.
Yeah. That way we can have the trench coat closed. I can still sort of navigate if I need to.
Yeah. No
Hit
worries.
these bitches, you get bit.
Right. We could just walk around at normal height if we wanted to. There are other small folk here.
Yeah, whatever's easier.
You do notice that you haven't seen any other goblins in town, though. Might be that you're the only goblins here at the moment. Or the only ones at least showing themselves.
We stick to current plan.
Mm-hmm.
Take me to church, something, 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 something on a Saturday night. It's a song I heard one time.
Nice. All right. That's terrible. You should feel bad.
And yet we don't.
No.
It just shows how bad we are.
All right, and with that, the two goblins run off, following behind their newly acquired friend. So, at this point, Lucile would probably be arriving at the warehouse.
Are there a couple of goons standing out the front?
There are, in fact, hired goons standing out the front.
Are they familiar hired goons?
At least one of them is a hired goon that you are familiar with. It would actually probably be a woman by the name of Emily Hughes. She's a local as well.
Hughes, how's it going?
Oh, not bad, love. How's it going with you?
Oh, can't complain.
Well, with a voice like yours, Dale, nobody dare listens. They'd lose their hearing.
What?
You proved my point.
Yeah.
You here to see the boss?
Yep. Hang on. Yeah. Presumably my runner came by earlier.
Oh, we had some young kid come by to tell us to keep our hands off some fancy individuals, but you know what the boss is like. He doesn't believe anything until he hears it from 3 different people.
So, the kid, me, damn it, we need a third one. How about you tell him?
If it's coming...
I'll tell you, then I'll tell him, and then when he asks you for clarification, then you can tell him too.
Don't worry, Lucy. If you go in and tell the boss something, I'm sure he'll listen. He always does.
A little taken aback because people generally don't take her seriously. I mean, she offers up so many threats and insults that it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, that's an accurate description.
I was like, yeah. Anyway.
Upstairs in the office.
Right. Thanks, love.
Yeah.
It's like, wander in, just kind of push the door open, finagle my way up there, nodding and it's like tipping my not hat.
Tipping your non-existent hat as you make your way through the warehouse.
Yep. Call out a couple of names, finger guns and all that as I go by.
Yeah.
Not the right names, just names.
Kind of like, Two-Fingered Henry, Johnny Stabs, it's like Legless Louie.
Yeah, good. So
none of those names are applicable to what they actually do. Or what's wrong with them.
You're not necessarily talking to the individuals. You're just shouting out names.
Yeah, they're the names that they have either adopted or been given, for want of a better expression.
So,
does he have a door?
He does have a door. He actually, there is a proper upstairs office with door, and as you walk in, nice furniture.
Gasp.
Yes.
I do the polite thing and do the policeman's knock.
Yeah. Yeah. So you knock, and there's a couple of seconds pause before you hear the enter from the other side.
Like, wait a couple of seconds, straighten out my clothing, open up the door, amble my way in, looking inconspicuously shifty.
Yeah. As is your natural look.
Yeah.
It is a persona crafted for many years.
And it's kind of become who she is as time has gone on.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. Say, Mr. Turner. Tidings are going well, I trust.
Lucile. Yes, no, definitely. Especially this time of year, business is good.
Well, I've got good news and bad news for you then regarding the business things. Would you like the good news first or the bad news first?
Bad news first. You know how it goes.
Yeah, well, the bad news is that my boss, I think, is a sergeant my boss. That's not important. That's neither here nor there.
Mm.
He told me to definitely not tell certain people who I may or may not know to lay off the noble wasp names with the thievery and the pickpocket and all that, because they will cut people's heads and hands off if they catch them.
Yes, that is. They are one to overreact when they find somebody distributing the wealth.
They are a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for here? Choppy. Let's go with.
Quite.
Oh, this person was touching my pocket. Let's cut their head off and stick it on a spike out the front gates.
Yes.
Overkill.
Oh, well. We got at least half a day at them.
It's a start. Right, would you like the good news?
Of course.
He said anyone who has fewer than 3 rings on a hand is fair game.
So it's only the high-class nobles that we're not allowed to touch. Everybody else is fair game.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wonderful news. And with that,
mind sending one of your runners or whatever out to kind of spread the news around?
Oh, don't worry. I'll pass it on to the boys.
Oh, mercy beaucoup.
I am glad to see that your whatever that is has not improved over the last 10 years.
I don't know what to call it. Words? Let's go with words.
I don't even think it's a language.
It's probably not. Some made-up gibberish, I'm pretty sure.
Quite dead at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think I heard some noble toff use it once, thought, he sounds like an idiot, and then started using ironically, and now I can't seem to stop.
At this point, Lucile, I don't think it's ironic anymore. I think it's just part of who you are.
Well, crap.
Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
My life is getting further and further in the latrine the longer it goes on.
I've told you, all you simply need to do is accept my offer to work for me. You keep the job you're on, you just pass on information to us whenever I ask. You get a nice bonus for it.
Wait, was I not doing that already?
I haven't been paying you.
You see him silently kind of do that calculating thing. It's like adding up all the numbers in her head, and then finally she just goes, it's like, shit.
I've offered it to you multiple times, and every time you say no, but you always end up back here giving me information anyway.
All right, fine, I accept.
Very well. Daddy reaches down, pulls out a coin purse and throws it to you.
Ooh, this is fancy.
Consider that back payment.
Open up, have a look. There's definitely more than 3 coins in here.
Yeah, it's about
My mum
45
so
silver.
many pancakes with this.
Accurate. So yeah, it's a bag with about 45 silver in it.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, insert thank you here.
I just spent whatever I
Low down thieving criminal. Don't do it again.
Well, it is,
bad money management.
as we say in the business, you keep your friends close and your enemies even closer. And
So
I would
everyone close. Gotcha.
consider you a friend.
Just know how to react to that. It's like, Business doing pleasure with you. Wait, you're close enough. Cheerio, tally ho, all that what?
No worries.
Bloody tough noble words getting stuck in my mouth. Say hi to the wife and kids for me, and I'll catch you later.
No worries, of course. Of course. It's always a pleasure.
They do the awkward bow and salute, etc., and they turn around and just kind of walk out, feeling uncomfortable at someone offering any modicum of praise.
Yeah. So yeah, you quickly make your way downstairs and out the front door of the warehouse, making your way back.
Yeah,
where are you going?
By to Emily and just was like, "Yep, I'll catch you on Thursday."
Of course, love. You finally accept his offer.
I can neither confirm or deny that something.
Of course. No, we'll see you at the pub.
And I scuttle off as quickly as I can.
Yeah, as per usual. All right, where are you heading from here?
I think I was going to wander towards the south side of the city to make it look like I'm still doing my job.
No worries. Now with that, you start heading towards the southern gates.
All right. I do that. Make a stop off at home and stash the coins somewhere.
Yeah, no worries.
Maybe I put them in the jug of all the syrup.
Nobody's going to want to touch them ever again.
No one will ever know that they're there.
No, they won't. You will be the only person that would ever think of that.
Good.
Yep. All right. So to be about this point that, Haley, you've made it back to the temple. Where you can see a couple of the people that you've been, escorting over the last couple of weeks worth of travel, going about making, helping out with the temple and seeing to the daily ministrations of those that are under the care of the temple itself. So what are you doing?
Hello. Oh, it's a great day, isn't it, everybody?
Yeah.
So we're down in the marketplace. They've got some really fun games.
Unfortunately, we still have business to attend to at the temple, but we should be free by sometime this afternoon, so we will join you then.
Oh, well, actually, some of us are being in the competition, the tournament, not the jousting one, but the melee and the archery.
Oh, very good. We will endeavour to get there in time to be able to see you perform.
Excellent. Hope we can do the order proud.
Of course, dear. Yes.
Now, do we know where some of the priests are? Tom and Matt aren't feeling the best. Might need a bit of a pick-me-up.
Of course. The high priest is in the back. If you'll...
We'll just wait for them when they're not busy.
Yes, of course. I believe they would be free at the moment, so if you wish to make your way in now, there shouldn't be any drama.
Great. We walk in.
Yeah. So, as is to be expected, there is, in fact... Oh, excuse me. Yep, so in the personal quarters of the high priest for the temple is, in fact, the man you have come to see. And he is just probably writing some stuff down in a book at the moment. Just, collecting his thoughts and all that for the day, possibly writing up a sermon that for a blessing. He's probably been asked to do a blessing on the festival, so he'll probably be working on that at the moment. But yeah, as you head in, he sort of puts his book down, looks up and goes, and how can I help you today, my child?
Well, we may have enjoyed many festivities last night, and Matt and Tom are not recovering quite as well, and we have a tournament only in a couple of hours, so wondering maybe if you could give them a little pick-me-up.
Of course, child. Yeah, it's not going to be a problem at all. With that, he stands up and slowly makes his way around the desk, and you see the two younger boys move forward and sort of kneel in front of you, and he walks forward and places his hand on one of their heads, and you see some golden light emanate from under his outstretched hand is you see the bags under their eyes immediately start to vanish, and they just have that more energetic look about them as, you know, they're cured of their hangover and everything else that's bothering them at the moment.
Matt, while you're here, you wanted to take a vow of not drinking? Do you still want to change your mind about that? We got a high priest right here. You could do that vow.
You know what, boss? I think I'll give it a miss this time, but yeah. He's immediately started sweating.
You take a vow seriously. You can't break that shit. You're gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly fucking right. So he's like, no, you know what? On second thought, I think it'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, they both get up. Was that all today, my child, or was there something else you needed from me?
Well, we do have like an hour or two before our event. If there's any work you need us to do for the church before then.
If you could help out with the daily administration, that would be greatly appreciated. If you talk to the head acolyte, she should be able to direct you to where your assistance is most required.
Great. Well, Matt and Tom, I don't speak for you, so you can enjoy the festivities. I had a couple of hours before you, if you want to go ahead, but I'm just going to spend some time volunteering.
They both have a bit of a guilty look on their face as, you know, they've basically just used the high priest to recover from their hangovers. Like, no, we'll come and help you out. Yeah. So yeah, with that, you spend the next little while at least in the infirmary, just tending to the wounded and various other people that have got various ailments and illnesses and whatnot, just changing bandages.
Do I hear a bit about maybe if some of their carriages got attacked on the road, or that's maybe why they're in the infirmary?
Roll
Can you
me.
get more information about that?
Yeah. So that will be. Roll a perception test.
Let's see if we roll highest tonight. Anybody?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope. I'm busy.
Most of the people that you're tending to here appear to be in a pretty bad way. But from the wounds that you're changing, so like you're changing the dressing on some bandages and stuff like that, they do look like some kind of claw marks or scratch marks. So it appears like it might have been some kind of animal, maybe? Though you don't seem to recognize the markings. Not something you're familiar with.
Right. What about talking to the people? Are we?
Most of them are, because they're in the infirmary because they're probably in too much pain or anything like that to really be paying too much attention to what's going on around them. Like the ones that are able to sort of, you know, they might just have a little cut on their arm or something along those lines. They're probably out at the festival. The ones in here are the ones that are bedridden, have been given some serious medications to be able to keep them unconscious so that they're not dealing with the pain and stuff like that. Or if they are conscious, they're in no state to talk to you about much. Yeah.
That's fair.
So, yeah. All right. The goblins.
You guys followed.
Yeah. So you guys have followed behind the priest. And you've watched her and her two companions walk into the temple.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We're following it, right?
Oh, so you're going straight in? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a little bit behind her because obviously, you know, you've had to make your way through the entire marketplace because you're on one side and she was exiting on the other. So you're a little bit behind her. Yeah. Yeah. So with that, you arrive probably 10 minutes behind the 10 minutes behind Haley's character arriving at the temple. And yeah, with that, you sort of walk in through the main doors at the front, and are immediately greeted by a member of the clergy who sort of looks you over with one quick glance and sort of walks over and goes, is there something I can help you with?
You're on top.
Yeah.
We're looking for a lady.
I'm sorry, you what?
We're looking for a lady.
Uh,
Here. She is a full folk, one of the demonic enslavers, but is actually a very nice person.
she just sort of looks at you with this, as soon as you say demonic enslavers, she looks at you with this very concerned look of, who are you referring to?
She's a very nice elf, despite the demons.
Oh, elf.
Yes.
You were talking about demons.
Well, yes, she's one of the evil enslavers, but she's not evil so far we've found. You know, with the creepy purple eyes.
Yes, I know who you're referring to, but well, and it'd be about that point where, hey, Azula would probably walk out from the back office where she was speaking to the high priest, and sort of start making her way through the main part of the temple towards the infirmary. Yeah, it's good.
How loud are you yelling this into the church?
Very.
I mean,
It is a silent church, and there is a rather shrill voice going, "Hello, not demon."
Hello, friends. Tom, Matt, I'll be with you in a moment.
And so, yeah, whatever you say, boss. As they give you this odd look, as what is essentially a tiny-headed orc standing there in a trench coat with these tiny little thin ankles.
Yeah, how about we'll just go outside for a bit.
Okay. What's it for?
Well, I'll explain outside. Just be a bit quieter, please.
Okay.
What?
And
I
with-
will
with
smile at people. Yeah.
yeah, you can see a couple of the acolytes are giving you some rather interesting looks. There is a bit of judgment there for the people that you are apparently keeping company with.
as we turn to leave, I will say from behind the trench coat, "Thank you for your help." And turn
Yeah.
and walk.
As you guys are walking out, the acolyte that you were talking to just sort of stops for a moment and just sort of turns and looks back around at you as you walk out.
As she does that, you would see a tail pop out from under
Yeah.
that's just flopping around.
Yeah, she just has this extremely perplexed look on her face as you walk past her, Azula, and she just sort of locks eyes with you for a second and just gives you this, "What is that?" look, before she just continues going about her morning duties, or her daily duties, sorry.
Thanks, Mindy.
It's- Yeah. Yeah.
I love you all.
So with that, the orcs, the goblins are now outside, followed closely behind by Azula. What he's doing.
Well, hello, my friends.
Hello, we found her. It's our turn to talk.
He sticks hand out. Hello.
Hi. I am familiar with this trick that you did at the bar last night.
Pardon me.
Yeah, good.
Have you been to the markets yet?
Yes, I did. I played a couple of games. I was looking around at the beautiful things to buy and signed myself up to a tournament, in fact.
Tournament? What tournament? There's a tournament?
There's
a tournament.
There is a couple. Can I help you guys with anything? Oh, do you want to know what this? This is the church, by the way.
Yeah, what does it do?
Well, people come here to pray to our god. Do you know the god Zan'Bae'Are? Did I say
Zan'Bae'Are.
Zan'Bae'Are? Zan'Bae'Are? No, it's not someone. Well, if you're very lucky, you get to meet them.
Isn't
But
it Zan'Bae'Are, not Zan'Bae'Are?
is that right?
Yeah.
Zan'Bae'Are?
Yeah.
Sorry, my common is still.
Yeah.
That's okay. I do understand that you're a little bit ignorant, but it's to come with your demon race.
Fair.
I love you, Haley.
It's fine. I just take it on the. I'm like, yep, I'm used to it.
Just cop it on the chin.
I'm fine. Yes. So we pray and ask for blessings to our God, and if people are sick, they come to us as well. If people have a need, they will come to us, and we can see what we can do for them.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else.
That's okay.
When you,
Maybe they could help you with your prophecy, chosen one.
I was going to say, when you say need, what does that entail?
Difference. Maybe they have maybe they need healing, or they have a conflict at their home that they want to talk to a priest about, and get some advice.
So if I needed a new loincloth, they'd help me out?
Maybe depending on how poor you are and if you give service to the church.
One's enough, I don't need a second.
Oh, okay.
How does one service a church?
Polishing steps, right?
Depends on what needed at the time. Sometimes they need people to help with the injured. Sometimes they do need people to clean. It can be very different ways of service.
Sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, I want to need service to the chosen one. I don't need to be doing that to a whole other building as well. Not that there's a problem. You are the chosen one, and you are valued.
I do not think the building needs more help. It is doing a very good job as it is. Yes, we should stick together. So about this tournament you mentioned.
Yeah.
It is always good to show one's strength and might.
Well, you guys did very well last night in your performance. There is a battle of bands. I'm not sure if that also associates with dance or just acrobatics like you did, but you can ask about it.
How's your
There's also archery and melee.
And I'm good at punching things.
I'm good at setting fire to things.
I don't think they have one for that one. Maybe a game in the square, maybe.
Okay, let's go find a game to set fire.
I like it, let's go.
No, please don't. No. That's not what I said. Do not do that on my account.
That's literally what you said. I like setting fire to things. Your response is, yeah, you can probably go find a game in the market.
A game in the market that has to do with fire, yes, maybe. There are many different games around. Could I help you with anything?
You could show us this fire game.
I do have to spend.
And the melee.
I have promised some time here at the service before my match. But if you go into the town square, you will. They are one of the main stalls. Or you could ask around, and I'm sure anyone could direct you.
Well, I'm asking you. You could direct us.
Oh, maybe we have to do the service thing. Why don't we go with her into the church and help her with her duties, and then she will be done more quickly and can come have fun with us. Okay,
This-
let's go help the church.
But my shoulder's getting sore. We should swap first.
Okay, I hope
You are welcome to just come as the two of you. You don't need to have a height requirement for this.
There's half as much walking involved now. This is efficiency.
You know, I'm not opposed to us going separate for a little bit. It has nothing to do with the fact that I just got to sit around for the last half an hour at all, I swear. Okay, let's go.
Well, if you want to sign up for the melee, you might have to do that sooner rather than later. There might be a cutoff time for if either of you.
Well, I mean, she just said we had to service it, right?
Yeah.
Can we do that from out here?
Okay.
How does
have a broom?
I mean,
No, you do you have a broom?
I have a s-
So both of you actually want to volunteer?
well, wait. To service? Sure, why not?
All right. Well, I'll ask.
This is an experience.
Do you
And I
guys
must experience the world.
have any abilities in healing, perhaps, or medicine, or
I know CPR.
any skills that are?
I'm very good at authorizing wounds.
Well,
Anesthesiologist right here.
You know what? When we will ask if there's something that you can do for us today with your skill set. Acolyte.
All right. With that, you guys head back into the church. Azula followed by. Are the goblins still on Head and Shoulders at the moment, or what?
Currently.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So currently still as one individual.
Yes.
All right.
I'm on this time. We're changing places.
So yeah, you guys head inside. Azula basically takes you into the infirmary and gets you to sort of help. It's
I'll hold them down.
you don't really know what you need them to do. There's not really anything in particular they can do because like they're not healers or anything like that. So you sort of
We can hold things. We've got like 4 arms between
yeah.
us.
It's essentially
to do some cleaning.
yeah. You get them to do a bit of runaround work. So you get them to like get bandages and bring pails of water and stuff like that. Just general busy work, for want of a better term.
Yeah, they go to hand me something icky, and I just prestidigitation it clean before I touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a useful skill.
Yeah, it's a very useful skill, especially with bandages.
Yeah, tell one of the higher acolytes what she could do, and maybe you could do something with that.
Yeah. They basically sit you in a room, and it's full of used bandages, and they get you to use prestidigitation to clean them.
Okay. I hum a little goblin tune.
Yep.
So yeah, you're cleaning them, then sticking them inside the trench coat. I roll them up, then pop them out the side.
I'm assuming we're separate for the work.
Yeah, yeah.
But you can
Okay.
keep the trench coat on because you were the top half.
That's accurate.
That's how it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Very this one.
All right. So whilst all this is going on, Lucile is heading for the southern gate. What are you looking for on your way there? Anything in particular, or?
From what I remember, I was going to make sure that the word was getting out that people weren't necessarily going to go and get their heads and hands cut off.
Basically. So you can see a couple of individuals that look like the type that are likely to try something, and you sort of give them the word, you know, just to make sure that they're not going to do anything silly that'll end up getting them hurt or killed.
See, don't go and pick people's pockets, especially when they're sober. If they're incredibly drunk, I mean, I can't stop them from pickpocketed necessarily, especially if I'm not around. My old mum, though, would definitely appreciate a show of appreciation for this piece of information, though. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Roll me a diplomacy test.
Ooh, what diplomacy, you say? Where is the thing? Actions.
All right. Someone get a good roll tonight.
It's not going to happen.
Where the hell are my damn skills?
Fourth
This
or fifth
melee
tab.
made it terribly for us.
Sorry, I forgot what I was trying to roll.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy, okay.
No.
I have.
Yay!
Hendo also has now. With a 20, you're able to, not everyone gives you a little bit of a tip, but you do get a couple of copper here and there, so you'll get probably about 8 copper worth.
Excellent. That's about what I was after.
Yeah. But yeah, with that, you sort of finish the round to the point where you're at there's nobody else that you can think of that you'd probably be worthwhile touching base with at this point, so.
Yep. Around that point, I say, oh, okay, I've probably technically done everything I was asked to do, and it's probably close to, 3, 4 in the afternoon, maybe?
It's getting towards sort of, it'll be getting a bit later in the day.
It's like, what do I do with the rest of my day? I mean, I could go back to the barracks to look for another assignment, or I could do patrol duty.
Self-imposed patrol duty is definitely something that you are known for.
All right, let's do that. We'll start wandering the streets, maybe head our way back towards that main section of town where all this stuff is going on.
Yeah, no worries. And with that, you sort of
hide amongst a massive crowd.
Yeah. With that, you start to meander your way back into the main part of town where all the festivities are taking place. As you do, you'd hear the bell chime for 2:00 in the afternoon.
Oh God, it's only 2.
Yeah. Which is about the time that you guys will need to be heading off to the melee if you want to partake. So.
I first ask if I could borrow a helmet from anyone I know.
Yeah? Someone would have a helmet that you can borrow.
Great.
Yeah.
I would like a helmet.
No worries. So with that, you'd all, roughly at about the same time, you'd all end up around the same place.
Just quickly, as we go to leave, do we see her companions from the night before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Do we see them in... Because we helped her get back to her room, didn't we?
Yes.
No,
you didn't. No.
Oh,
Never mind then.
yeah, we rocked up as they were being dragged out.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucile was the one who put the sock on the door.
That's it.
For a jerk.
Joke.
Yes, well, actually, Matt and Tom are coming with us because they signed up for the melee.
Oh, there you go.
What are you doing? But as you guys would be heading out of the temple to head back into town, Lucile would probably be walking down the same road heading into town herself, so you'd sort of bump into each other coming out of the temple.
I'm assuming there's like a cleared space around the front of the steps, so it's easy enough to actually see. It's like,
oh yeah.
See. Quickly, pretend I didn't see them. What? Oh. Hello.
Thank you again for last night and helping me put the boys into bed.
It's like, look from Azula to the other two and just see if there's any understanding or recognition on their faces about what that actually means.
They both look a bit confused and they sort of look at each other a little bit and then back to you.
Cool. Let's like look down, check the ankles.
Yeah, you can see one of them is missing a sock.
Have a good night, boys.
Good to see you up and about.
Thanks.
What did you guys get up to after we blacked out?
We blacked out?
After? No, last time I saw you guys, I had a shot of fire whiskey, And then I was going to
Come back for a second.
come back. Yep. And I went up to the room, and I don't remember what happened next, but I assumed. Yes. I assumed.
What's that got to do with him missing a sock?
What are you talking about? Who's missing a sock?
That man there, he's missing a sock. That you went up to and slept in the room.
Thomas, you're missing a sock.
Is yeah, I had it last night and then it wasn't there this morning. No, it's
sure it'll show up.
Yeah.
Hang on a door handle somewhere or something.
Why would it be hanging on a door handle?
It's easy to find.
Hey, Thomas. Does your race put a sock on a doorknob so people know that you're having sex in there too?
He just sort of thinks about it for a minute, goes beetroot red, and just starts spluttering. He's like, what? No? Yes? I don't know.
Brother, guess what? Those three people slept in the same room and did the least with 3 backs instead of 2 backs.
You can maintain eye contact. Did you maintain eye contact?
What?
How do these bloody children know about whatever they're talking about?
We're not children, we're adults.
Sure you are.
You doubt me? I am
You didn't say anything. I'm not doubting you.
good. Just don't do that.
Don't do what?
Think nor doubt. Only inner peace and trust. In me, the chosen one.
I'm going to have an existential crisis if I try that.
Yeah, fair.
You say the weirdest things sometimes.
Yeah, so did the 3 of you fuck?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I would say that's none of your business. Or mine. Or theirs.
This is very...
I
both.
don't know who any of you people are. And I mean that literally. We've never been introduced.
I mean,
We've had a nice conversation. How's
we drank together.
how's Princess Sparkle?
Yeah, so you and I know each other. I don't know who the rest of these people are except for briefly ushering a couple of drunkards into their room.
We shared a drink, remember?
Yeah, but I don't know your name.
Oh. How could you forget?
You never told me.
That doesn't sound like me at all. Anyway, I am Kayakan, chosen one of the goblin people. And this is my sister. She's 2 minutes younger than me. How are you doing?
Slightly confused.
Well, we're heading to the melee if you want to join.
It's like frown for a minute. I don't remember there being a battle going on anytime today.
I mean,
What?
there is one scheduled for about 2:30 to go for quite a while.
Hang on. Are we talking like a pub brawl or like an officially sanctioned event?
Officially sanctioned, sir.
I realize that's probably a bad question to ask. They could be the same thing.
Is that how you do it here?
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, well, usually it's I was going to say a nightly to-do, but not necessarily every night. Most nights. Like every night bar one, where they clean up all the mess.
Officially sanctioned. Bar brawls.
Yeah. By the bar patrons themselves.
Matt, Tom, do you know about this?
Sort of, they both look up between each other like, I don't know what's happening.
Well, they're not from here. They probably wouldn't know.
No, exactly right. It's just, we're gonna head to the melee just so we're not late.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah.
Join if you want. Lucile.
Sorry.
Join if you want. We're heading off now.
Say, quick mental gymnastics. These people could be suspicious, which is something I'm on board with. At the same time, I don't want to go and do any work. If I hang out with them, it's kind of like doing work. Yeah. You may need an escort. Excuse me, the pancakes are coming back.
They're with a vengeance. It wouldn't be hard for you to justify, especially given that there's 2 goblins in the group.
That's racist.
It is racist, yes. People don't give a fuck. It would be well within your rights to say that you're keeping a close eye on these pair of possible troublemakers.
Okay, especially after last night.
Yeah, especially after last night.
See, I have come to the decision that I will accompany you on your adventure to the melee.
Very good.
Where is it?
We're heading there now.
That doesn't answer the question.
Don't you?
No.
Bear chose.
Oh, well. I mean, I can tie the loincloth up a little bit, I suppose, but...
All right, lead the way, apparently.
All right.
Very welcome.
And with that, you follow a little bit behind the other 2 as they've already headed off. But yeah, you're all heading off towards the melee.